morning, everyone, and welcome to JDC West 2023 case presentation. Before starting today, JDC Organizing Committee would like to make acknowledgement. The University of Saskatchewan and Saskatoon is located on Treaty 6 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis. We pay respects to the First Nations and the Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. We pledge ourselves to create a competition that celebrates the diverse cultures and history of this land. Thank you to our judges. To my right, I have Jacqueline Conway, Mason Gardner, Kira Bloomquist, Tiffany Stevenson, and Jamie Chilton. My name is Shelley Kay, and I will be the academic moderator for this presentation. Minutes to present. Immediately following the presentation, judges will have a total of 5 minutes to ask the presenters questions. Our academic timekeeper, Harvey, will hold up the timing cues throughout the presentation and the question period. Judges will indicate their intent to ask a question through raising their hand. Once the question period is concluded, the delegates will be escorted to leave the room. No questions or comments will be permitted from the audience at any time. Please ensure that your cell phones are turned silent and there's no talking amongst yourself or signaling the competitors through their presentation. Competitors, you are free to begin your presentation.
Apologies, sorry, it's 9:16, the presentation starts at 9:20.
Okay.
So we're going to hold until the actual presentation time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I have to read that again?
No.
Okay.
You're okay, we'll just not start the time and not start presenting.
We're in practice. 4 minutes.
No worries. Lots of practice. Working with patches. I think I might take you up on that. Thank you.
I got 1 minute.
Despite how daunting it may seem, the hardest part about being a kid isn't learning arithmetic or learning how to ride your bike without wheels. It's learning who you are, how you fit in, and how you can contribute. At Skills for Life, you made finding the answers for these questions easy through equine accessible learning, a unique way of learning that many haven't seen before. Since your recent inception, though, you've been growing strong, but there's so much room to grow. With that, how can you turn this passion from part-time to full-time? How do you find your guiding light to success? Good morning, my name is Megan, and today I'm joined by my colleagues Emily and Mary. And today we're here as North Star Consulting to help you achieve the vision of positioning Skills for Life for sustainable long-term growth throughout the next 3 years. In doing so, there are 3 major issues that must be addressed. 1, your operational capacity in terms of being able to address these issues and generate a profit long-term. Secondly, you must be able to address how you're able to actually impact your local community through Skills for Life, because they are oftentimes unaware of the benefits that they can gain. And thirdly, you must be able to address how you can actually generate profits long-term to make this business sustainable and operate full-time. To counter these issues, we have our strategy, Illuminate, which we are so excited to present today. It is comprised of Sparkle, which is offering the Stronger Together program, which is meant for family and friend bundles, as well as Glimmer, which is a program, which is the process of going into local fairs and pitching there to gain more traction and awareness. And thirdly, we have Shine, our last pillar of the Illuminate strategy, which is working towards going into educational curriculums and building awareness there and having a full funnel so you have a longer retention strategy and are able to get people to come back long term. In doing so, you will be able to achieve an average class fill rate of 75%, up from your current 50% by 2025. You'll also be able to increase or able to have a conversion rate of 30% of your prospective clients, and you'll also be able to run 2 field trips by the time of 2023, by the end of 2025. And in doing so, you'll be able to acquire over your current goal of 148 clients of going to 125 clients to 135 by 2025. And for today's presentation, we will be presenting in the order of the analysis, recommendation, and implementation of each pillar before moving on to the next.
So the very first question for us to address is, who should Skills for Life be targeting? And so, Karina, we understand how important having that impact in the community is to you. However, you are one person. Even with the addition of Carolyn, you have limited resources and cannot market to all target segments. If we look at the elements of profitability and market size, we see that children are the best opportunity for you to pursue, in that they not only drive the majority of your revenue, but they also have a larger market size in terms of individuals who would be interested in being a part of EAL learning opportunities. So the key takeaway here is that Skills for Life cannot support all groups with the current operational capacity. However, you can build that capacity by targeting children, growing your revenue, and then be able to support future opportunities with that. Diving into the first element of our Illuminate strategy, Sparkle. So here we have your ideal client. We have Tommy, who's 8 years old, whose motivations are he wants to fit in with his friends, he wants to have fun, and he's a kid after all. And really, he wants to have that validation from his peers. Currently, he attends school and loves to play with his brothers and friends, and his pain points are that he's a shy individual. He's uncomfortable in new social situations with people he doesn't know. And the channels here are mainly word of mouth, hearing things from his friends and from his family. But really, Tommy isn't the decision maker. He's not the one paying the bills. We need to look at Anne, Tommy's mother. She is someone who's trying to provide the best for her children. And here we see that as a busy working mom, she also loves to bring her kids to community events. The pain points here for Anne are that she doesn't know how to help Tommy build that confidence that she knows he needs, and she also wants to find more opportunities to connect with her kids. Her channels are word of mouth, Google search, as well as talking to people through these community events. Now, if we look at Skills for Life's current resources, they're not being maximized. Currently, we see that you do not have enough clients, and because of that, your operations are not sustainable. If we look at your capacity, your classes have the opportunity to serve up to 4 clients, and you rely on word-of-mouth marketing for referrals for new clients. However, if we look at your current operations, you average about 2.8 students per class. That's only a capacity of 69%. There's opportunity to be servicing more people with each program you run. Additionally, we see that you're struggling in terms of gaining awareness within the community, and the implication here is that without your full classes running, you're not utilizing your limited resources to their full potential. So let's look at how you can actually utilize those resources. If we look at the decision criteria of alignment with your target market of Anne and Tommy, the profitability and the potential to fill class sizes, we see an opportunity to offer bundled classes, giving a discounted price to maximize the fill rate of your classes. So the key takeaway here is that Skills for Life can better leverage your limited capacity by offering bundled classes to better engage your target audience.
So what do these bundled classes actually look like? How do you make it exciting for these families and make them want to sign up? So today we're here excited to present to you Stronger Together, this new family package so people can sign up in their families of 3, 4, or even with friends at a discounted rate to ensure that you're able to increase that fill rate of your classes to make sure that you're making as much money as possible with each program. And with that, what does it actually look like? So with this program, it'll be focused on children primarily, as that is the strongest target market, and you'll make sure that their families are also incorporated, whether that's their siblings, their parents, or any friends that they have as well. So they're still engaged, they're still active, but it's primarily focused on their development to make sure that they're feeling supported and empowered at the end of the day. And with that, you're gonna have families engaged. They're working with Dee and or Holly if it is a larger group. And they're getting to choose how they're navigating this. They're still doing the similar exercises that you have in your youth mentorship program, but they're doing it as a group. With that, many kids, such as Tommy, will feel supported because they're with their parents. They'll feel as though that they're in an environment where they can truly grow because they're with people that they trust and care. And lastly, families will also be able to schedule visits to make sure that this is the right environment for their children to learn. Once they see other people learning through EAL, they'll realize how great it is for them as well. And so how does this actually work in terms of implementing it with your new pricing structure? So in terms of current value with your current mentorship program rate, this would be valued at $325 per person. But in terms of having it act as a bundle with a discounted rate, it'll be priced at $299 per person. And with the initial launch, it'll be at a further discounted rate at $250 per person, just to make sure that you're able to get sign up for when it's first launched. And so what's the value for groups when they actually sign up for this bundle? So not only are they getting a safe space to learn with their family, their friends, an environment where they truly feel supported, but they're also able to, again, develop the leadership skills, emotional skills, and any other skills that they need later on to position them for success later on in life, especially because these are children. You're developing these skills early on for them. And you're also encouraging family bonding. Many families want to take the time to make sure that they're really engaging with their children. So this is just another unique way and fun way for them to do so while encouraging their children's growth. And what's the value that you will have at Skills for Life? So you'll be having an increased revenue generation because you're increasing the number of people that are currently attending at your current rate of 2 to 1 horse. It'll now be 3 to 4 per horse. So you're increasing the money that you're getting because you are still charging per person. You'll also be getting greater economies of scale because you're getting more people for the same unit in terms of resources. And you'll also be able to strengthen and support your community, making sure that you're really empowering the youths that you really care about, and you're able to support them long term. And with that, we'll go into our implementation.
So moving on to our implementation, to implement this great new offering that you have, we're going to help you reach to up to 75% of your class fill rate to increase your profitability. Beginning with purchasing the Family Hurt program curriculum, which is the perfect curriculum to have for this new offering. This will teach families how to bond together and improve emotional intelligence within these classes. Next, we will email and call your past clients to gain warm leads so that you can get a higher interest rate in the first month. And next, we'll begin booking the events and having our initial discount in the first month and collecting information from the interested clients as well as any feedback that you have. And our key milestones is to learn the new curriculum by February of 2023 and finish collecting the warm leads by the end of April and launch your classes by the end of March of 2023. And your KPI is to contact 10 previous clients as well as run 4 programs by June 2023 and have an average program rating of 4.0 by July 2023.
So with our Glimmer strategy, maximizing your current resources, let's move on to the next pillar of Illuminate, Glimmer. So here we see that Skills for Life relies on word-of-mouth marketing to gain new clients and referrals. However, the future implication here is that you cannot grow your client base at a sustainable rate solely relying on this one channel. If we look at your value proposition, it's very experiential based. It's people having the opportunity to interact with your horses and gain those experiences through that skill. And with that, it's really about building that relationship with horses and individuals. The insight here is that to allow clients and also parents that are looking to sign their kids up for these kinds of programs to see the benefits of EAL classes, Skills for Life should be leveraging a more experiential-based marketing approach. Now, if we look at some of the different opportunities you've been considering to market EAL better, we have social media, e-newsletter, as well as in-person events. The criteria here we're looking at are alignment with your core competencies as a company, specifically Karina with your ability to present and interest in trying to empower people by talking to them and building that relationship. We also have your ability to convey that experiential value as well as alignment with target market and the profitability. Ultimately, we see that in-person events are the best way to pursue, as first off, social media does not have the opportunity for you to build that face-to-face connection with individuals to really showcase the value proposition of Skills for Life. And e-newsletters similarly do not allow you to do that and gain the reach that you need. Thus, the key takeaway here is that Skills for Life should be leveraging an in-person experiential marketing to develop that awareness, specifically leveraging in-person events.
So with these in-person events, what does it actually look like and how is it going to work? So you're going to be going to local fairs, you're going to be engaging with your community and finding children to make sure that they're actually signing on to these programs as well. So in terms of grabbing their attention, what you're going to do is make sure that you're catering to both parties, both the decision maker and the person who's actually going to be attending. So for that, you're going to be grabbing their attention. Then you're going to make sure that they have the opportunity to actually try it out. So you're going to have a mini exercise that follows the EAL curriculum. And then you're actually going to make sure that there is a conversion piece. There's a way to make sure that parents are able to sign on after they see how great it is for their kid. So in terms of grabbing their attention, what you're going to have is a bold booth set up at these local fairs. It has bright colors. It's attractive for children. They're going to be excited. They see a horse in the back. They want to see what's happening there, and they're excited to go try it out. And when that happens, what's going to happen is Karina and Carolyn are going to make sure that they not only greet the kid, but they also greet their parents. And with that, children will be led by Karina in terms of how to adopt these exercises through a mini trial, have fun with it, and also see how they can test out their leadership skills. Meanwhile, Carolyn will be navigating the parents through what EAL is, what Skills for Life is, and how it could benefit their children in terms of how it benefits their family, their child, and growing, and empowering the community. And lastly, in terms of making sure that you're able to follow up, get these people to sign on and actually participate in a program, you're going to make sure that within this part, or within the part where they're going through the booth, you're going to make sure that you're not only collecting their contact information by getting written signups, but you're also making sure that with that, you're giving them a pamphlet. For every person who comes, there's going to be a pamphlet given to the parents where they can learn more about EAL. There's a QR code that redirects to the website where they can also obtain contact information to make sure that if they are interested, you can follow up with them as well.
And to implement our pillar Glimmer, we'll first start off by buying your merchant spot at the local fairs in the spring and summer months when children and families are looking to get out and have fun. And next, we'll design and print pamphlets that have information on what classes you offer, the benefits you have to the community, as well as your values with Skills to Life and Skills for Life. And next, you'll be setting up at the local fairs, as well as pitching these events to the children and family. So the key milestones here is to purchase merchant space for 2 local fairs in the spring and summer, and sign a contract with Carolyn so that she can work extra hours during these events by the end of December 2023, and complete 2 fairs by August of 2024. Our KPIs is to complete 1 fair by the end of May 2024, have 2 visitor bookings scheduled by July 2024, as well as collect 10 new prospective clients by the end of August 2024. And with this strategy, we'll hope to convert 30% of the prospective clients.
So with our Glimmer strategy driving meaningful awareness, let's dive into the final pillar of Illuminate, Shine. So here we see that Skills for Life has that limited impact on the community because of those resources and the current way your programs are running. That means the implication here is that you cannot maximize the impact that you currently have. Your current state is that you're running 21 programs with about 58 clients. However, you have the potential to support up to 40 programs. Now, if we look at how we can do this the best, given your current resources, there's an opportunity to collaborate with school districts to provide that EAL learning to as many children as possible.
Providing this learning to children through these school curriculums, what we see for you in the future is having fully integrated curriculums with schools going through EAL, having that adopted with their curriculum. But what the first step is making sure that they actually want to do this, that children are engaged, and that starts with field trips. So how does this actually work? What are these field trips? So these field trips, you're having schools in Moosomin, and they're going to be learning about EAL, and you're going to be driving conversion by inviting schools, or by working with schools, having field trips with elementary school aged children, and making sure that they not only are able to learn what EAL is and experience it firsthand, but also that they just genuinely have an interest and they find their passion with it at an early age to spark that while they're still young. And so what does this actually look like in terms of the field trip? So children will be visiting Skills for Life for about half a school day on their own schedule, and they'll be doing everything from learning what EAL is, hearing that from Karina herself, why EAL is important, and learning about the horses. They get to play with Dee and Holly, they get to feed them, and most importantly, they get to do the exercises with them. They get to do EAL supported exercises and learn development by taking turns and rotations. And then what will happen after that is that children will be sent home with a pamphlet and photos for their parents to see not only how fun of an experience it was through the photos, but also giving parents the opportunity to learn what EAL is and what the field trip their kid was just on, but also learn about the benefits and opportunities for them to continue with EAL later on with Skills for Life. And so how do you make sure that you're actually able to go with these field trips later on? You need to ensure that you have buy-in from schools. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pitching to local elementary schools, and you're going to be going in with the value proposition of not only are they going to be, your Skills for Life is giving them the ability to empower their students and position them for long-term success and growth, which is the main goal of these schools, but you're also giving them the opportunity to do it in a unique way, which many other schools don't have. And so in terms of being able to do that, you're not only giving them a way to differentiate themselves from other schools, because many schools are competing within their districts, but you're also giving them a new way to engage their students and make them excited to go to school. And then in terms of having value for Skills for Life, you're ensuring that you're having an increased reach with your aligned target market of having young children, but also you're generating more profits through conversion because the schools will also be paying you money to attend these field trips.
And to implement our pillar Shine, first, you'll have an alignment meeting with Carolyn, as you will both be taking part in this strategy, and creating videos to pitch the schools so that you can showcase your program offerings and show them what the classes actually look like. Next, you will reach out to the parent association and elementary school principals via email and pitch the schools, as well as work with the teachers to plan and run these field trips. Our key stakeholders are the principals, PAC, Carolyn, and Karina yourself. Milestones are to run 2 field trips by the end of 2025, complete pitches to 6 elementary schools by the end of 2025 as well, and complete the pitches by the end of 2025. So our KPI is to gain 20 clients from the field trips by the end of Q3 2025 and receive 1 school buy-in by the end of Q4 2024. In terms of risk, we have identified 3 risks within our Illuminate strategy. The first risk is associated with our Sparkle pillar, which is that parents don't have time to participate with their children. To mitigate for this risk, we'll offer flexible times and program durations so that they can choose whichever works the best for them. Our next risk, associated with Glimmer, is that local fairs perceive horses as a potential hazard. Our mitigation is to keep horses within pens and away from walking areas so that they can be kept in a safe space. And our third risk is that schools are unable to afford field trip prices. And to mitigate for this risk, we will be offering these field trips as optional, individually funded field trips.
So now that we've mitigated these risks going forward and we're able to ensure that you're able to adopt the Illuminate strategy, let's just go over what we were able to present today. So today we presented the Illuminate strategy comprised of our 3 pillars. Sparkle, which is offering the Family Stronger Together bundle. We also have our Glimmer pillar, which is driving awareness through events, through local fairs. And third, we have our third pillar, Shine, which is having integrated local curriculum by going through these field trips and eventually moving towards local adoption in terms of integrating that fully into curriculum. And in doing so, with the strategy, you'll be able to have an average class fill rate of 75%. You'll also have conversion rate of 30% through these fairs, and you'll also be able to ensure that you're able to run 2 field trips.
So when it comes to the cost of actually attending fair events, there is a plan that we're describing. Do you feel that they affordable? You think that she will generate enough fees? There's kind of a cost to set up, pay the fees, and to have materials ready to promote. You mentioned the gold booth, there's lots of things costing a lot of money. So do you think that your projections are possible?
In terms of profitability with the event specifically, we did note that in terms of the first year, you might be seeing a loss just because you are putting up a lot of upfront costs with that. But you'll be able to generate so many leads that you'll see a return very quickly in the next following years.
I noticed in your recommendation for your focus on children, and that makes that one. Did you have any considerations around the third-party market adult women, and or are we planning on reaching that?
Certainly, we did. And so if we look at where you're currently getting your clients for the older women segment, we see that a lot of that's coming from your current network of personal family and friends. So with that, we see limited scalability at this current time. So the goal would be to focus on children where we see that scalability, build up your resources, and then in the future, be able to offer that program stronger and better than ever.
Well, I noticed that, a lot of your recommendations, but I'm wondering who is going to implement events specifically. So for example, there's a little bit of limitation. But we don't really have a great SEO happening right now. We probably don't have an optimized website. How are we accommodating for that?
So in terms of SEO and revamping the website to include the QR code as well as the visitor scheduling, we will be looking towards the hiring of a contractor for those jobs.
And how are we?
So in terms of doing that financially, that also is part of the reason why during the first year you will incur a bit of a loss. But because you're able to drive so many conversions, especially because the programs are being increased in terms of occupancy, you'll be able to afford them long term because these changes are only in the initial year.
Your target audience was starting to came up that you were focusing mostly on the youth and in person. Where are these people? And how are we, and where are the fairs? And then is there a national population?
So in terms of our target market, we'll be targeting the children, so we'll be looking at children from local elementary schools. And local fairs will be looking at the summer fair as well as the spring fairs within the city. And in terms of the initial Stronger Together offering, we'll be contacting old customers through warm leads.
You mentioned the discount. How long are we offering that discount? Are we potentially getting some money on the table by leaving that discount on?
So that discount will be offered during that first month. And again, the goal here is to drive that initial conversion of these previous warm clients that are warm leads to get them to try this program and then again be able to leverage that for word of mouth and also use as testimonials, for example, in the school video.
So in terms of retention, that's one of the big reasons as to why we chose children as our main target group, because we see that they can grow with your company. And in terms of retention strategies, we'll be bringing them through different field trips and our long-term goal is to work with the school board with different elementary schools so that this is offered throughout the year.
Thank you, judges, for taking the time out of your busy schedules, especially so early in the morning, to watch your presentation. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.